Hey, welcome back to the 3D thing in libtdx. To start off, I added the facing for entities, so now the entities can face whatever way they want to face. The facing is just a 2D vector, even though the world is 3D. That's because if seen from above, the world is 2D, as in there is no height. Entities can't change their height. Now, such a phasing means that the entities will also be rotated, and that rotation was difficult for me to get in the code. Also, it was important to me that I understood exactly how the rotation was gonna be made. But I think about here, it was resolved, and I could continue to programming behaviors. So a behavior is like a brain for an entity that can move an entity around. And right here I thought it would be great if I had an entity that had such a brain and would pull that brain in order for what to do. But I scrapped that idea. Instead, I went with a brain that controls an entity without the entity knowing. So the entity is purely a model, and the behavior is what is updated and what is actually making the decisions. The entities have no idea what's going on with them in that respect. And I implemented a behavior here, walking behavior, no, a wandering behavior, I believe. And the wandering behavior is supposed to give the entity a home point that it will roam around. But it took a while before that actually worked. I spent a good long while on those move methods because I just couldn't get the coordinate systems to match up. But here we see the cubes are walking away along the -c axis. And they refuse to stop, even though I said to them, if you're more than 20 units away from your home point, you should stop. They didn't. Turns out I didn't copy a vector one place. That's important. Now they stop. See? Here I'm finding the tangent of the circle around the home point, and then I make the boxes, or at least my intention was to make the boxes move along the tangent, or face in the direction of the tangent to the circle, but instead they just bounced right off. But eventually that was fixed, and they moved in circles. Great. our entities are a little smarter. Now I wanted lighting, and I ended up deciding to use Gouraud shading, which is also sometimes called per-vertex shading, but transforming the model, or no, not transforming the model, transforming the normal from the model with the rotation proved difficult, so I had to sleep on it for a while, but for a day it ended up working though, so that's great. Here you see I changed the geometry because the normals on the cubes were making the lighting not intuitive, so it was difficult to see if it was correct. What I ended up doing was taking the matrix that I transformed the model by, so that matrix has a rotation and a translation, and then I take the inverse of that and then the transpose of that, and then I upload it and I multiply the vector normal by it, and then it works. Now here I wanted them to just roam around the home point instead of walking in a circle around it. So now I calculated a new vector off of the tangent of the circle, and now we have agents walking around their home point. That's great. Thank you for watching my video.